What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Big TCG show. So today I wanted to basically call out a certain company. Now, before I get into it, subscribe, share, like the video and everything. Now, this isn't going to be some sort of video where I just rant and hate on the company. This is something that I've noticed for a long time. So the very first Bandai card game I played was the Naruto card game, and it got canceled. And then I tried the Battle Spirits card game back in 2009. It got canceled. Then I was told that Bandai drops a lot of games. They had the Dragon Ball card game. They also had the My Hero Academia card game. And then most recently, they canceled the Battle Spirits Saga card game. And at the time when I was working at a game store, and, Bandai called, wanted to see if we were interested in carrying the game. And the owner literally told the rep on the phone, y'all drop games like a bad habit, and just hangs up. I'm just like, well, wait a minute. Like, these companies don't really call that often. And realistically, listening to, people who only play Bandai card games, they're used to it. They're like, yeah, they'll drop it. And I'm just like, if you're going to invest that amount of time and effort into a card game, and the company drops it within a year or two, that's a lot of money and time invested, gone for what? And it's like, you build a camaraderie with these people, you're building up a community, you're, starting friendships, just for them to drop the game because they have a lack of focus. Listening to other videos where people are talking about their experiences, meeting representatives, where some games in Asia aren't doing well. And realistically, when you look at it, you can tell Bandai doesn't really understand what they're doing. For instance, do you really think that they thought One Piece would blow up as quickly as it did? Probably not. That Bandai has been hunting for their lightning in a bottle. And that's what the Bandai TCG is. It's their lightning in a bottle. Because they had Yu-Gi-Oh! And then Konami ended up getting it and turning it what it is to this day. Whether you like that game or not. And the sad thing is, Bandai has burnt bridges with so many stores. I went to other stores and I go, well, what do you think it is? Oh, I'm not going to touch the Gundam game until it survives for over a year. And realistically, a lot of it, and that actually hurts the industry overall. I know stores that wouldn't touch Flesh and Blood until it survived 3 years, 2 or 3 years, just depending on the store. Because, LSS was a new company, and all these stores had, they were younger stores. They didn't have as much money, and they got burnt by Bandai a couple of times. They are running too many games. Their judges are spread thin, and they just need to focus. They don't need to release any other games. I love Gundam. I think the TCG is a great option for them. But at the same time, they need to stop making games and focus growing the games that they got. Like, really. Like, all honestly, Dragon Ball Super TCG should have been the size of One Piece. It really should have. This growing stuff at the refrigerator, hoping it sticks, wanting it to flashbang into greatness was probably one of the worst strategies they could have ever taken. Because realistically, other than Pokemon, every other TCG had to work to get to where they are. And I know a lot of you go, well, Yu-Gi-Oh! It had an anime too. It grew up with big. No. For those of you who are not old enough to remember, or you just weren't playing, Upper Deck Entertainment did mall tours. They had to go around and let people know, hey, this cool anime that you like has a card game. They built their circuit up. They built it off of using stores that Magic was already in. Magic, it wasn't lightning in a bottle. It was more like thunder in a bottle. It was like, hey, this is a great game. But, you know, being the first, you had to like clear the forest. And realistically, I just think I understand Bandai strategy. You know, you want to have all your card games in the top 3. You want to take over. But realistically, there are some people, like when you burn them a couple of times, they're not going to really do business with you like that. Um, you know, I'm traveling around Georgia, going to different games, and when I'm seeing the Bandai communities, I'm not gonna say community because just because you play One Piece doesn't mean you're gonna play, you know, the Gundam TCG and vice versa. You know, they're very adamant about these games. They're very passionate, but all these communities are tiny. So realistically, I think they should focus on growing One Piece. Let that be their main game. Like, honestly, I really do. Like, if Gundam isn't gonna make it, drop it. Like, people from the Battle Spirits community, like the old school one, when they're asking me, oh, what do you think about the game? And I go, yeah, it's good, but I think it's gonna die. And then once I saw it, my prediction was coming true. I was like, okay, well, they should just cancel the game and use this to make more cards for One Piece. Seeing as how everybody can't really get anything, y'all should increase your print run. Don't come up with a new game, but then here we come again. You know, they got Union Arena, and then they're like, oh, hey, look, we got the Gundam TCG coming out, which is being scalped. It's my local game store that I currently go to on Tuesdays. We're talking about people weren't even really there just to play the tournament. They were just there trying to get the cards. And I was like, oh, yeah, they're just flippers. So realistically, that game's going to have to get through its scalping phase. And it just depends if the scalpers are going to kill that game or not. Let's see. But if Bandai is going to cancel another game, they realistically just don't need to come up with other games and just support One Piece. Be like, okay, instead of investing money in this, we know One Piece is selling. Let's just put the money that we would into a new project and just put it in that. But that's my honest opinion. So let me know what you think. Which games do you play? And have a great day.